What is good? So we've got another client case study for you. This is my boy Erik. So Erik is 5'6". He's kind of like quite kind of like little kind of rodent-y facial features, and he's always been kind of a little bit awkward, a little bit socially awkward, a little bit of a weeb, very much into anime, like nerdy stuff, you know. And we kind of went from this like dorky, over-enthusiastic nerd, and we turned him into this mischievous little fuckboy that girls love. Alternative girls love him. I mean, but that's more that he likes alternative girls. A lot of types of girls love him now. So you can see him, you know, went from, what it is about my clients taking pictures with cats. This is the second guy on my case study who starts off with a picture with a cat, and then on the right it's him with a bunch of different pussy. So the problem with Erik, he never had a problem with running out of things to say. Erik would just go. He would just go. Like it was like a wind-up monkey. You wind him up, he just keeps talking forever, and he would sort of end up putting on a bit of a show for the girls he was speaking to. Which, you know, it's better than, you know, saying nothing. But the problem was that he would just be like a source of entertainment for the girls, and it would make him seem like he lacked confidence and like he had to, you know, make up for something. Like he was overcompensating, you know, like just by trying to be like funny and silly and over the top and like over enthusiastic all the time. And what he lacked was the kind of like grounded masculinity that girls find really attractive. And that's not to say that you can't be kind of like fun and goofy. Like we actually encourage a lot of students to do that, but it's like he didn't know where to stop and become, you know, this kind of more grounded masculine version of himself as well. He didn't really know who he was without putting on the show. So you can see here, you know, this is some of his sticking points. He was too high energy. You know, the girls would find him entertaining, but he couldn't connect with them and create chemistry. He was underestimating his own attractive traits. He wasn't expressing himself sexually, like he wasn't engaging with them on that level. And, you know, he had kind of societal programming, maybe like around his height and the fact that he was kind of nerdy, making him feel like he couldn't be, you know, this more kind of like masculine kind of playboy kind of persona. You can see here, you know, he was, he said, I was constantly having to calm myself down. And this was something that he was, you know, he was struggling with for a while. He'd just get way too overexcited and just like run around like this little psychopath. So we worked with Erik on quite a few different levels. We did a lot of in-person coaching with him. We helped him to kind of embrace his identity more. So Erik's actually a really talented creative. He makes rugs of anime and video game characters and also like skateboard decks. And we helped him to kind of realize like how cool that is and be kind of proud of that. And, you know, when he started to embrace that more, I think a lot of girls, you know, found that very interesting and attractive about him. As long as he wasn't, you know, trying to show it off as such, people would discover that about him. We had to train him to like cool off in conversations with the girls instead of staying high energy. And we taught him how to create vacuums and interactions that nurtured intrigue and kind of sexual tension. He also put extra focus on his fitness. He got into a lot of martial arts, got more in touch with his masculine edge. And that's not something that is, you know, necessary. Like, you don't have to become like a fitness guy. You don't have to go to the gym. You don't have to do martial arts to get good with girls. But it can help you to get more in touch with your masculinity if that's something that you're struggling with. We helped him to kind of reprogram his mind and his perception of himself into this kind of like mischievous character that girls are very magnetized towards. And you can see here, so at the top on the right, this girl here. So this was on our WILDBOI weekend event, which was the 3-day house party that we ran in LA. A girl that I was previously involved with hit me up and wanted to come to the event. She came and she brought this girl here, which was her friend. It was this girl's birthday, and these guys just hit it off super, super well. And, you know, he was the perfect balance at this event of being like fun, playful, but also kind of cool and laid back and like wasn't trying too hard. And this girl just loved him, and he actually continued to see this girl and fuck this girl for quite a long time after this event, which was great for him. So one thing that Erik really embraced is a frame that I kind of discovered and elaborated on over the past couple of years, which I describe as the horny victim frame. So obviously, you know, this is something that we go into more depth with coaching, but it's a way of kind of like flipping the frame to make it seem like, you know, you're just this like innocent boy and you can't control your urges, and all these girls are just like trying to seduce you all the time, and you're trying to resist them, but you know, they're just so set on getting your semen, they're so set on getting your cum, that they just like, you lose control. And Erik was extremely good at incorporating this very early on, because he had this kind of like playful energy about him, so he was able to incorporate this without without it coming across kind of like weird or over sexualized. He was able to do it in a very kind of like playful, light-hearted way that really worked for him. And all of a sudden, you know, girls are chasing him for sex. He's not awkward and try hard anymore, and he's just been kind of buried in pussy recently. So you can see, you know, he stopped entertaining, he realized his worth, he flipped the frame to this horny victim frame, and now he's fighting the girls off with a stick. So it says, you know, this is a little testimonial that he wrote for me. He says he's been working on his dating life for over 2 years, but after doing the one-on-one coaching, you know, it was a big game changer for him. He said his confidence has gone up 10 times. He grew up this socially anxious kid. And he said the freedom that he got from coaching, you know, was pretty much life-changing. And he's been going into this "I have so much pussy" mindset, which has been, you know, a big game changer for him in his experience with the opposite sex. This is something that we try to teach guys a lot. Like, you don't have to change who you are. Erik is still the nerdy little weeb he always was. He still loves anime. You know, he still makes his anime rugs and stuff. He's just learned the communication skills to be able to enhance and bring attention to his attractive traits, and they're attracted to energy above everything else. Like, women are attracted to the energy. So if your energy is compelling, they don't really care about your interests. If anything, they might even try to adopt and, you know, embrace some of your interests if they're attracted to you. And women are just as horny as men. They're just usually so buried in options. So as men, we have to provide something unique to kind of activate their sexuality, because just going up and being like, want to have sex, like, as men, that doesn't happen as often to us, or at least for most men. So, you know, it's easier to engage us sexually. Women get that every single day, just like dudes trying to have sex with them. So, like, we have to provide something unique to kind of put them in a more sexual headspace. So, yeah, Erik went from this over-enthusiastic dork to this kind of like sexy creative geek that girls want to fuck, and that's very, very deeply aligned with who he is. We're just able to, you know, accelerate that Super Saiyan transformation for him.